Well. Oh, we have 2 now.
We've almost finished the statement piece. Just one slab left to find.
Yeah, I could have absolutely done this in one session.
Annika's memory will return.
If my sleep wasn't the way that it was today.
All goes according to plan. Wouldn't be wise for us to assume that'll happen.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
All we can do is press on.
I found my way through the battle so far.
Let's see this through to the end.
Sorry. Gonna have to depend on you guys for a bit longer.
Don't worry about it. When we're in trouble, we help each other.
That being said, there's something we should discuss. It's well past time for you to tell us about your relationship with Guernica.
You're right. Sorry I kept you in the dark. I'll tell you everything.
It's the big reveal towards the end of the super short story.
I'm Guernica's big sister.
What?
Sorry? Would you mind elaborating on that?
More accurately, I'm not exactly Guernica's sister. I'm more like a memory of her.
What do you mean? A memory?
So basically what was going on with Arena in the main game.
Died a long time ago. I don't really remember how things ended, but I do remember being hungry and tired.
How awful.
Guernica and I were abandoned as kids. Since no one wanted us, we had to live off whatever scraps we could scrounge up. We were just 2 more sewer rats living in the streets. People never even spared us a look, let alone any help. That's why Guernica and I started painting.
Sorry you had it so rough.
Well, once we started painting, that became our whole world. We came across this one mural in a random back alley, and it inspired us to try making one ourselves. We worked on it all night long. We were so absorbed that we even forgot how hungry we were. It was a way for us to leave our mark, so we decided to make it as big as we could.
So you're saying these slabs?
They're the memory of the mural we had made together. That was her first statement piece. No matter how tough things got for Guernica, she always had that memory to keep her going.
I think I understand. That statement piece was the foundation for her heart and soul.
Yes. And once it was broken up and discarded, Guernica totally lost it. She was never like this before. If we can get all 3 of them, I know she'll be okay.
Thank you. I certainly understand the mural's importance now. I only have one more question. Why did you hide your relationship with Guernica from us?
So it could be a big reveal.
Well, that's because I was afraid you wouldn't believe me. You might just think I was secretly on Guernica's side.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Keep in mind, though, this isn't our first time in a bizarre world like this one. Not only that, we're all on the same side. You had no cause for worry with us.
Jeez, I get it already. You just enjoy raking people over the coals like this?
Oh, please excuse me. I may have let my work habits take over for a second there. Also, I believe I understand your situation quite well, considering this conflict between sisters.
I also understand all too well. You see, I used to have a sister.
Used to?
A little while back, she lost her life in an accident. The 2 of us were inseparable. No matter what one of us did, we both had to do it. But as we got older, we started to argue more. We didn't see everything eye to eye like we used to. Even though I still loved her like a sister, whatever the reason, I had trouble getting her to understand me. And while I was pining for the day when we could talk again like old times, in a sudden accident, when she died in that accident, that was the end.
I had no idea.
So that's why I want to help not only you, Luca-san, but Guernica as well. I know you're only a reflection of her memory, and that we can't actually bring you back for her. Still, the longer that Guernica's lost you from her heart, the more likely things will end badly for her. That's why I'm going to do everything I can to see you reunited with Guernica in her right mind. Maybe I'm just being selfish, but I can't stand to see you two sisters like this.
That's not selfish at all. I was right before. You're a real nice gal.
Whatever.
Right. Only one piece left now.
Yeah, we're most definitely going to help these sisters now.
All right. Time to steal that last slab.
I would if I wasn't really tired. Hey, scratch up some more of those things you use. Oh, it's just a weapon upgrade. Thanks so much for fighting for me, by the way. I hope we can keep it up. Okay, well, I'll equip those, I guess. Why the music cut? Is there another cutscene? Oh, nope. Nope. Okay. Let's see here. I'll finish this off in like an hour and a half, or whatever it takes. Probably after doing something else like wrapping up Super Mystery Dungeon. So one of the other playthroughs here, and probably try to knock a couple things off the schedule this weekend, I guess. Hopefully, I don't know. You think Guernica will be okay? She seemed to be in such agony back there. Even when Luca called out to her, she didn't react at all.
That's right.
Hard to believe that's simply amnesia. Perhaps Jerry's done something to her. Blackmail?
But
It's so funny to imagine that this is probably canonically taking place during the time that Akechi's still plotting to kill us. But it didn't really seem like she was under duress or anything. You're definitely right. It's not how Guernica acts when she doesn't want to do something. It may be something less based in reality, like brainwashing, perhaps. Whatever it is, if something's being done to Guernica-san, we have to help her as soon as possible.
let's go.
We just have one more slab left to find. Let's do this. Guernica's real tough. She'll be alright. Just need her to hang in there a little longer. Meanwhile, what is this? Nah! The status quo will always be maintained. Defying it will only bring you to ruin. All those bending about their infantile will of rebellion are merely sealing their fates. Such stupid humans. The world doesn't need foolishness of that sort at all. Don't you agree? Evil, what the hell's happening to my head? Damn it! Ah! You feel this pain because of those disgusting humans, Guernica. You must wipe them clean off of your streets. Fine, I'll get rid of them. Just make this stop.
Forgive me.
I'm sorry, Guernica. There's simply no stopping now. Not until your deadly art eradicates every last bit of humanity's will of rebellion. This is so dumb. This silly ruse has nearly reached a most satisfactory end. My. Our Lord surely would not approve of such extreme measures. I swear, if this is going to be another godly being behind everything again, just like it was with Persona 5, just like it was with Persona 5 Tactica main game, and as I hear is apparently pretty close to the case, if not the exact case, in Persona 5 Strikers as well. That's what's going on here. I am gonna be so dang done with Persona 5. I eventually do want to get the Strikers, but if this is just what it's gonna do every single time. But if the tranquility that arises from the chaos is the end goal, I'm sure. Wow, I received 2 GP. Amazing. I think you get more GP from these ones, but what do I know? What do I know about stuff and junk? What did they do? Just like repeat the same trope. Where in Persona 5 main game, it was like, oh, there's this godly being who's the big bad behind everything. Persona 5 Tactica. Oh, there's this godly being who's the big bad behind everything. That is like the god of control. And I'm pretty sure, wasn't the god in Persona 5 main game also called like the god of control? Well, there's a different god of control behind everything in this game. And now it's implied that this stupid parrot is taking orders from some other lord that... I swear, if it's some other god of control, I'm gonna friggin' lose it. And I've heard that there's a very similar thing going on in Persona 5 Strikers. So, Persona 5 just... It was a god of control, Persona 5 Royal. I swear, if they just keep on doing that for every single Persona 5 related game. Like, my god. It was cool the first time. Not cool any subsequent time. You can't just do the same thing again. Is that Persona in a nutshell? Maybe. I haven't beaten any other Persona games yet. I'm still in progress of Persona 3. Dr. Maruki became God of Control 2.0, so this is actually God of Control 3.0? Yeah, I suppose you have a point. So, Lucas-san, what's life like for you in the real world? Well, after we were abandoned by our parents, Guernica and I lived in all sorts of back alleys.
That would be...
Sounds like quite the harsh environment for children living on their own. It sure was. You won't believe how much fighting I heard on the streets. All those gang members and drunks hanging around at all hours.
That's how it is.
No wonder you're such a fearless kid.
But
So, with all those dangerous types around, how did the two of you manage? There was one thing we always needed to keep us going. Can you guess what that was? Discarded goodies, something for self-defense, a place to sleep. Discarded goodies! You got it, we both would have been goners for sure if it wasn't for the trash we'd find. Trash? Really?
Yes.
I see. One person's trash truly is another person's treasure. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there who hunt for treasure in trash, even if it's just for recycling. I can't picture myself. I can't picture Akechi saying yeah. I picture him saying yes. Yes, there are lots of people out there, not yeah, there are lots of people out there. Like, it just doesn't seem to match him, but what do I know? No one can survive without food and money. It's a basic fact. I mean, technically you can survive without money, but no one can survive without food, yes. But like, you're probably not gonna be existing in this society if you don't have money, most likely. Where we were living, we could find both in the trash. Probably be living out in the forest somewhere. Just gathering bottles and cans and whatnot to sell back.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the trash bins behind the restaurants were always the best to scrap together a meal. The taste was decent, and it was even still fresh, usually. Although, I do remember having to fight with a rat over it.
Is that so?
Now, that's a distressing mental image. But if we didn't do it, we couldn't survive. All in all, garbage picking is the most vital skill on the street. Lucas-san, you're so tough. Hope I can learn from you.
So then...
Man, if you play this without having played Persona 5 Royal, it'd just be like, okay, who are these characters of Sketchy and Sumire? Or... what's the name that she's actually referred to here, and the name that she was originally going by? We could try it together sometime if you'd like. In fact, I just remembered, there's a perfect trash heap for us to check out right over there. Go for it, Akechi. Because, like, they're basically... yeah, Kasumi, that was what it was. I knew it started with a K. Like, they're just referring to her as Kasumi here. So, yeah, if you were playing this without the context of Persona 5 Royal, these are basically just like Fire Emblem random recruits of their one or two personality traits. Are they even those personality traits, really? It's basically just Sumire or Kasumi is a gymnast, and Sketchy is a detective. That's their entire personality in this DLC. Sorry, what was that? I missed it. Trying to weasel out of this? It's showtime. Go for it, Akechi. I know, I'd still like to give it a shot. Will you please teach me? Yeah, except without the gone serial killer part in this DLC. And it seems like they really are trying to hide, like, the Persona 5 Royal stuff here in terms of these characters, not to spoil it. I guess assuming that there'd be people playing Tactica and shelling out for the day one DLC, they're like, whoa, these characters are neat, and I enjoyed Persona 5 Tactica. I want to play Persona 5 main game now. Or something, is I guess what they think. Just kind of silly. Of course. Gotta join in too, Akechi, and help toughen you up some more. Like, if you hadn't already played Persona 5, or were at least quite familiar with the story, why would you pick this up as your strategy RPG of choice and not, like, literally any other strategy RPG on the market? Like, this is clearly meant to be a game for fans of Persona 5 that are also fans of strategy RPGs. At least that's what I figured, but maybe not. Maybe they're trying to get people interested in Persona 5 Royal here and learning more about these characters, since they're not spoiling the later developments there, where a Sketchy becomes like his crazy maniac mode and all pissed off and stuff like that, and Kasumi becomes Sumire and all confident in herself and yada yada. So, but how many people are really going to be playing this without having any real knowledge of Persona 5? I'd be so enamored with this, with how cookie cutter they are of characters, where they basically don't have really much personality at all, where they're like, wow, these are really fascinating characters, I want to go find out more about them by playing actual Persona 5. I bet it's so good. Like, it just feels very out of touch. Honestly, I thought Tactica was a spin-off continuation of the game that would give like an alternate universe type of thing, where the choices do more than just give you an extra semester to play around in. The main game of Persona 5 Tactica doesn't realistically feel like it would fit in with the timeline at all. Like, it couldn't. It is just odd in terms of that. Like, as a standalone story with the whole thing that they had going on with Toshiro, that I actually liked. There were elements of the story that I actually did really like, but it does not fit into the overall picture. I think it's more meant to be just like a spin-off what-if story rather than something that's a canonical part of the timeline. And yeah, and this is a whole different thing as well. I started a whole completely different save file for the DLC story here. This one could realistically exist, it seems like, just in the face where we were going after Sei's palace, or like Sei's treasure. I'm remembering her name now suddenly at the end of the stream as I'm like sleep deprived. It's 3 in the morning when I got up at 7, so I've been up for 20 hours at this point, maybe a little bit longer. Been awake for a decent while. I could just push it to 24 hours. No, let's not do that. I'm doing a 24-hour stream at the end of the month. Anyway, it could, I guess, fit in, like, while we're going after Sei's treasure and going and adventuring into Sei's palace. Like, while we're just big chilling between some days there, and then we come trek over here and the 3 of us get pulled into this world, I guess, during that. Which would mean that this is the part of the story where Akechi is putting together the pieces to put a bullet through Joker's head. Spoilers, who cares? So yeah, let's see here. Honestly, we're considering this strikers are 4 golden, but I think you'll pass on all 3 for now. That's fair there. I do think that the main game of Tactica did actually have some interesting things with the story. I was discussing this during Assassin's Creed Odyssey that we were streaming this morning. But like, there's 4 worlds, and the story is good from the end of the first world up until the end of the 3rd world, essentially. 90% of the first world is just super boring, super generic. It only gets good when you realize what's going on at the end of it and stuff starts coming together. And then it's really good as it focuses on Toshiro for World 2 and World 3. Well, relatively good in a manner of speaking. The cutscenes are so boring because the cutscenes are all like this, so there's like no visual engagement at all, really. So it really drags on at times, and it really should not have been a super narrative-focused game in this kind of format for its cutscenes. And then at the end of World 3, Toshiro's character is basically done, and then once again it's like, aha, I'm a god of control, that I was doing all this stuff, I was pulling all the strings in the background all along. And then you spend the whole 4th world going after him and doing like boss rushes and stuff, and there's just like no more story content past that point, and then you beat the god of control, and it's like, great, you did it! The story was good when it was focusing on Toshiro's character. I actually really quite liked him as a character. So there are some good story elements to Tactica. It's just nearly half of it isn't good. So, yeah. If it's 4 worlds and then the end of World 1 is where it gets good, up until the end of World 3, then you could say just over 50% of the story is good, and the rest of it isn't. And the way that it expresses that story is in a really boring way. The soundtrack is amazing. The soundtrack of this game absolutely slaps. I would highly recommend checking out the soundtrack. But yeah, I got through this game and definitely had mixed feelings. Oh, and the whole Merciless difficulty, despite there being 5 difficulty modes and this being called Merciless, like, it still felt like it was baby's first strategy game. Like, I could just get through it by turning off my brain, especially in the first world where I was getting so dang bored because there was just no engagement. There was never any challenge. There would sometimes be some challenge in later levels, but still not a massive ton. Not enough to warrant a difficulty called Merciless. Like, it's gotta be one of my most disappointing, hardest difficulty playthroughs I've done on the channel. But yeah, this is a $60 game that will likely not go on sale as often as Persona 5 Royal does. Or maybe it will. Who knows how well this thing sold. Maybe not super great. I know this DLC apparently didn't sell super great from what I heard. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they mark it down just to try to get more sales. Who knows? It has good elements, but it also has bad elements. It's a mixed bag. It's one of those... There's mixed bag games that are just like mediocre across the board, but this is a mixed bag in the sense that its good elements are actually really, really good. It's just that its bad elements are really, really bad. So I don't even know if I'd call it mediocre or mid. It's weird. It's a mess is what this game is what I would call it. It's fun sometimes, but I don't know, man. Same thing with Persona 5 Royal. He went normal first time around. Pretty easy minus the infamous boss fight. I went, what's the infamous one? I went on a hard difficulty on the true ending, and not much has really changed. I mean, I played on Merciless with that as well, which some people argue is easier than hard mode, apart from boss battles, just because of like the extra weakness damage and all that. The fact that Persona 5 doesn't have like a true hardest difficulty, with hard being harder in some cases and Merciless being harder in some cases, it's like, well, that's dumb. At least with Persona 3 Reload, it seems like Merciless just straight up is the hardest difficulty. Though it is definitely challenging me quite a decent bit from what I've played so far. I just thought of a matter I need to look into. You three have a nice time together, though. Wow, Akechi-san really hauled ass out of here fast. Hey, Akechi, where are you going? Wait! 2 GP. Okay. I'll just prepare myself for when I stream this, and I'll get through this in, like, a pretty fast manner next time. I assume... Alright, it'd be nice if I increased my range, but alas. Hey, I'll take this minuscule damage up thingamabobs. Skills, whole bunch of GP. Defense of all allies. Yeah, that. Let's go after dashing, increase my range attack, and increase movement. That's all good. I'm getting them. I'm buffing this up. Buffing up both the things. Size of Eternal Darkness. I don't know, just grab this or something. I don't know, I don't care. Sure, it's somewhere to invest my points for now, I guess. Okay. In action, but voltage pauses. Don't I need like a full voltage thing to be able to pop this in the first place? Well, I just bumped my monitor by accident. In a large area. Alright, the area doesn't change then. I mean, yeah, Heat Riser could be good to have access to, I guess. A small area, so they stay in a small area that just increases my damage. Yes, range attack, movement, that's important. Knockback distance, further reduces damage and cover. I'm just glad to finally be done with Persona 5 Royal for now. It's fun going back into Hacker's Memory and eventually Cyber Sleuth New Game Plus. I'll be glad to be through with Persona 5 with this game being finished off. I'll try to aim for finishing off this weekend or something. World's End. It sounds cool. Can I just get it? Sure, let's do that. So he's focused on light. Maybe I should focus him on dark since Sumire has a... Or I guess Joker has dark here as well with Arsene. Also, I keep on forgetting what she's actually called in this game, Kasumi. That original name. I'm just so used to calling her Sumire now. Whoops. I do want that. Knockback distance. Judgment of the Heavens. Let's do that. Fully recovers HP of a target ally. Sure, that. More damage. Sure, I don't know. Yeah, I got the extra movement. And attacking range. I didn't know how to words there for a hot second on everybody. And that's a good thing I went and got that chatting GP first. Alright, there's much higher level personas here. What do they have? Increased damage dealt. Okay. That really covers HP at the end of each turn. That's very nice. That's voltage gained. Burn. Raise the attack of target ally for 3 turns. The duration of support skills cast on allies for 2 turns. Who had the attack up again? Whoops. No. Damn it. What menu is it? Defense. Come on. You already have the attack up, so I can give that to Sumire here. That's what I can do. So, or Kasumi, or whatever. So, you get this Dudo. And increased duration of support skills cast on allies by 2 turns. So I could still give that to... You know what? I think I will, actually. Give that to a Sketchy instead. And then his Heat Riser and attack up for everyone will last longer. Even if that attack up thingamabob that it grants kind of goes to waste. Sure, do that. Do that. I don't know. I don't care. Alright, well.
Better jot that down.
Yeah, I've been playing this for... Well, according to the stream, 3 hours, 26 minutes, 44 seconds. Well, I guess since starting the stream here. This is probably more accurate. So, about 3 hours, 16 minutes. I'm into it so far. There's only one more of these things left, so this is a pretty short DLC. One more of these things left, and then I assume final boss. So I can do this in probably, like, a little bit over another hour. Something like that. So, I plan on finishing off Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon this weekend, which won't take me super long, and I can probably keep on streaming longer depending on what time it is. So I could probably just finish this off immediately after. And then 2 things are actually not knocked off the schedule because I still have the epilogue to do in Super Mystery Dungeon. Which this Dudo right here kind of relates to. I'm tired. Been awake for 20 hours. I figured this could be one of those nights where I stay up late and I just commit. And under normal circumstances, it would be. If I wasn't actually up early this morning, and I didn't even get a full sleep last night because I was video editing late into the night and it took me a little bit longer than I would have liked, and I just wanted to commit and see it done. And yeah, I went to bed at like a little bit after midnight. It was like 12:30, something like that. I woke up at 7, so I got like 6.5 hours of sleep, and now I've been awake for 20 hours. So I don't think I have it in me to keep on going this time. So yeah, I'll just finish this off after some other game. Or maybe I'll just randomly do it at the end of another Persona 3 Reload stream. Who knows? I can do it whenever I feel like, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it matters all that much. I don't think there's gonna be literally anybody that follows my channel that is like on the edge of their seat waiting for more Persona 5 Tactica Repaint Your Heart or whatever the heck it is content. I'm just kind of doing this for my own personal satisfaction of, hey, I've beaten all the stuff here at this point, but I'm knocking stuff off my game queue. I'm making space for the bazillion things that are gonna have to be added in the near future here. So yeah, appreciate everybody that stopped by to the Nintendo Direct stream this morning, or the 9-hour Assassin's Creed Odyssey stream after that, or the 2-hour Persona 3 Reload stream after that, or the nearly 3.5-hour Persona 5 Tactica stream after that. Man, I have been streaming basically all day today. I am exhausted as hell. But I'm trying to get caught up on some of these playthroughs here while I have the time to do so. So, yeah. I'm out of here for now. I'm not even gonna cut up these streams into parts yet. I'm just hopping right into bed, I think. So, yeah. Until next time, whenever that is for this game. Maybe it'll be 3 Reload again first in terms of Persona content. Who knows? Or maybe I will do it this weekend after Super Mystery Dungeon. We'll see what I feel like. Until whenever next time happens to be. See you later, nerds.